Oh, do I feel good today. It is Thursday, October 19th, 2023. This is your sports betting brand of record. We like to call it the Early Edge. We are powered as always. Sports betting, and it's not close. Now, all of the odds on the Early Edge are presented by the king of all sports books, BetMGM. Now, today is a humongous day at the brand. But first, we need to take a look at what we did yesterday. We have some picks for the weekend that still haven't happened yet, but a nice 3-2 day. Thank you, overtime, as the over in the Sam Houston game hit, as they end up scoring 60, but it was 40 at the end. Sometimes it goes into your favor. But tonight, as many of you know, Week 7 in the National Football League kicks off. So, of course, we are live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time with Prime Time Early Edge. It's the Jags. Will Trevor Lawrence be on the field? Nobody knows. Derek Carr, how healthy will he be? Nobody knows. But we will be here to discuss, and also who will be the next person to get into the club. Do not forget, hit that like button for me. Take the chat down, hit the like button, put it right back up, and keep on talking. Now, I can feel the energy. So I got to bring in the stars of the show, because on this Thursday, I say it all the time, but today I absolutely mean it. An embarrassment of riches. Look at these guys. Danny Brasco, which means I got a big-time UFC card coming up. I got buckets here, which means soccer's coming back this weekend. Sniper just simply can't lose in the playoffs right now. And the counselor is here as well. So who gets 15 seconds today? Well, all I know is this, that last night my phone went ding, 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 thanks to, who was it last night? The Astros. So nobody here picked the Astros, correct? Nobody? Oh, Sniper.
I played the Astros on SportsLine in my daily CBS Sports bets column. I had the Astros over 4.5 runs, so that cashed in the 4th inning. So yes, still hot. Unfortunately, I think there's only so much good karma you can have, so I'm also sick as a result, and that's why my voice sounds different.
I'm also sick, but what doesn't happen is I don't hit things in my office that make big sounds when somebody's trying to eat.
That's how you can. That's my excuse, is I'm under the weather. I've never had that happen before, so I'm sorry. Sincerely, legitimately, I'm really sorry about that. That was my fault.
If I was a betting man, I would have thought it was buckets that pulled that off. Yeah. But alas, right, Counselor?
It was minus 350. Yep, sure thing.
That's true. And that would have been a bargain. Mm-hmm. All right, gentlemen, we got to get into it. We have big-time games tonight. When you have a Thursday night football game and 2 playoff baseball games, how can you get any better than that? So at 5:07 Eastern tonight, it'll be the Phillies up 2-0 in Arizona taking on the Diamondbacks. They're favored minus 135, and the total is 9. So Danny Brasco, we have yet to hear from you, so I'm going to let you start. Are we fading, or are we following the Phillies to go up 3-0?
This is a fairly tough spot to bet simply because of the 10-0 drubbing they put on the Diamondbacks in the last game. A lot of the time, you don't want to jump on that team right after they had that huge performance, right when everyone in the world makes it a fairly obvious pick. However, you've seen Sniper cashing Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, props left and right. I mean, the Phillies feel like a team of destiny right now. I don't care if they're not in Citizens Bank. I think they're going to run through the Diamondbacks. Maybe the D-backs find a way to eke this one out. But the series is going to the Phillies, and I'm actually going to pick them to win the World Series. So I think they win this one and maybe keep moving right through.
They do feel like a runaway train, Counselor, right now, that whoever gets in their way, they're saying, please, get out of the way. This is our time.
Yeah, and props to Sniper yet again, because when we had our show just a few days back before the series started, he said take the Phillies plus 200 to win the World Series. You can now get it at probably like plus 110. Or plus 105, whatever it is. I mean, the Phillies are a runaway train. And it's funny because Ranger Suarez is not one of those big ticket names. In fact, when he first came off the IL, like a few months ago, I actually faded him in a first 5, and it worked out quite well. Since then, he has been really, really good. And he's been really good specifically over the last, I would say, couple of months. I mean, this is a strong pitcher. So I think the pitching matchup is about even. And then you're getting the Phillies bats that are just super hot. I think minus 135 is actually a pretty generous number. I'll go Phillies.
All right, we got 2 on the Phillies. Sniper, talk to me.
So here's how I'm attacking it. I think the Phillies are going to win in 5, if not 4. but I had Phillies in 5 before the series, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to play the Phillies all 5 games, and I'm just going to win 4, and I'm going to lose 1. I'm not going to try to get into figuring out which game I think the Diamondbacks are going to win, because then I could get into, hey, let's say the Diamondbacks win game 3, and then I miss it. And then now I'm behind the 8 ball now. So I'm just going to go on meets. I'm just going to stick with the Phillies in 5, and I'm going to bet the Phillies every single game. In terms of this pitching matchup, it's again on the Phillies side. Ranger Suarez threw 7 shutout innings in Arizona, the one time he faced the Diamondbacks this season in Arizona. Phillies haven't seen Brandon Pfaadt. I like to say unfamiliarity favors the pitcher, but that's when a pitcher has overwhelmingly good stuff. When it's somebody like Pfaadt who's still kind of feeling around, I wouldn't be surprised if he holds the Phillies down for a couple times through, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Phillies jump on him either.
Guzzle Money says, I'm with Sniper. Taylor says, smart logic, Sniper. And Snipes, I don't know what you're talking about. I know you said you feel sick, but Daniel says Sniper looks the best he has ever looked today.
Well, I mean, I didn't say my looks were affected. I just said my goals was.
Speaking of looks, last night, the Astros, boy, they looked really, really good. Getting those bats going on the road. I believe it was this show that said they're the best road team, and this series wasn't over. We cashed Astros on the money line, Astros team total. Sniper was nailing it in his article at CBSSports.com. So the Houston Astros back in this series now. But the Rangers still the favorite, minus 120. The total set at 9.5. Danny Brasco coming right back to you. Are we fading or are we following the Rangers to go up 3-1 tonight?
This is a tight call, Coach, so I'm going to go towards the total, actually, and let the other guys pick a side. I'm going to lean towards the under here. We saw the bats finally wake up, but I think the series is wearing on. We're in game 4 here. It's going to be a battle. I think it's going to go 5, and we're going to see one kind of eke out. A lot of relievers deployed. Very strategic game here. Give me the under 9.5.
The under 9.5. Oh, okay. Under 9.5. Let's put a pin in that one for a second. All right, Counselor, are we fading or following the Rangers?
Danny Brasco comes on this show and he gives out an under, Coach. It's just disrespectful. So I'm not going to do that. I understand the logic. Under 9.5 makes a lot of sense under that key number there. But I'll tell you what, I like, Andrew Heaney is just one of those guys that is really hit or miss, and I'm going to go with the miss on this one. So I don't really want to take the Astros necessarily, although that's where I would lean. I think I'm going to go with what Amex did yesterday, which cashed very easily, which of course was the Astros team total over. So, I think that's probably going to be sitting at 4.5 in most places. But even if it's 5, you have the push in play. I think team total here, I think Andrew Heaney gets roughed up with some Astros bats that I don't think are getting quite enough respect.
Yeah, I'm glad you used that word respect. Thank you, Counselor, because I certainly did not feel it from Danny today. No. Sniper, fading, following the Rangers.
This is really, really tough. It's razor thin. I think I'm going to fade the Rangers. Or Jose Urquidy on the mound for the Astros looked really good against the Twins last time out. The Astros have a deeper bullpen than the Rangers. I do think the Rangers are going to try to do something similar to what they did in Baltimore when they had Andrew Heaney go a couple times through the order. Then Dane Dunning, a fellow starting pitcher, piggybacked him and tried to get another two times through the order. Not sure how great that'll work out, because when last time Dunning saw the Astros in Texas, they scored 9 runs in the first 3 innings. But I believe that's going to be the Rangers' attempted formula. And again, their bullpen isn't very deep. So I'm going to fade the Rangers here.
Very, very interesting. As I sit here and I listen to the Sniper so eloquently lay out his thought process for the game tonight, a couple of things came to my mind. First of all, in the chat right now, AB and Berg Bets are their legends, part of the crew. Any questions for AB, our 5-tool player, or Berg Bets, put them in the chat. They will answer them in real time. The second thing that came to my mind was, Counselor, what do we do when we feel so passionate about a play being wrong, or, to use your words, disrespectful? What do we do?
Well, especially when it's disrespectful, I think you have no choice. You've been given no choice but to challenge said person, whoever that may be, to a showdown.
Danny Brasco, the number is 9.5. Are you in? Or are you out?
I'm in. Say the words, Coach. I'll let you do it.
Ooh, that's even more disrespectful.
Oh, I'm aiming for disrespect right now, because I got more to give you in the next segment.
What? You do it? You do? I challenged you. You didn't challenge me. You say the words.
I have a feeling this won't be the only time this happens this show. Snake, play the music, please.
It's gonna be a showdown.
My gut tells me he's been watching way too many bucket videos. Disrespect. I used to feel like I ran this brand, but the train is off the tracks. The train is off the tracks. Now, we've got plenty more to get to. That's just the opening salvo. But all this weekend, across all the platforms, boy, are we busy here at CBS, especially in college football.
Saturday, Air Force and Navy face off. Then a rematch between Tennessee and Alabama after last year's rivalry-flipping win by the Vols. Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Tennessee and Alabama. If you didn't watch our weekly college football mega preview with me, AB, EC, and Chip yesterday, it is live in your feed right now. I encourage you to go back and watch it. That's one of the big games that we talked about right at the top of the show. Now, speaking of big games, gentlemen, and I say gentlemen, I mean Danny, Counselor, Sniper. We have a big Thursday night football game tonight, and it is the Jags. And Trevor Lawrence has been limited due to an injury all week in practice. We still don't know, which is why the numbers are where they are. Saints favored by 1 at home. The total, a very ugly 4-0. So, Counselor, I'm going to start with you. What do we do here? How do we handicap this when we have no idea how healthy either quarterback is going to be?
Yeah, this one's interesting. I mean, it's unfortunately it's one where you kind of want to wait and see unless you're playing the prop market, because I still think you can exploit the prop market even with the Jacksonville receivers, with the Trevor Lawrence news kind of being unknown. With all of that said, I would probably lean towards the Saints here. I think the Saints and the Jaguars are both largely fraudulent teams, but at the end of the day, the Saints at home, they do have some injury issues, especially across their offensive line, but a banged up Trevor Lawrence, a CJ Beathard possibly, it's not the best look. And honestly, Jacksonville's been underperforming this entire year. So as it stands right now, I would lean towards the Saints. I would probably lean towards the under as well, but right now I'm not willing to bet it.
By the way, on our college football mega preview, we give EC a over 2.5 times he's allowed to say lean, because he loves to say lean. And yesterday he said it in the first take, like literally 30 seconds in the show, he burned his over 2.5. All right, Danny Brasco, are we going to go with Jacksonville, who has now won 3 in a row, and they're starting to move a little bit, but a lot of good information from the counselor. What are your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I actually want all the smoke today. So, Sia, if you want a showdown too, come holler at me. I like the Jaguars, and I like the under. And if you feel disrespected by the under coach, you need to respect your wallet a little bit more. The Saints are 6-0 to the under on the season. Unders last week went 12-2-1, the most historic in any week in a long time. They're hitting at a 61% clip on the season. I was hesitant to even share that information with you guys because I love you guys. I want you guys winning with me. But I need over bettors on the other side to keep cashing unders. If you like overs, by all means, keep betting them. But in this one, guys, I mean, there's a reason that the Saints and the Jaguars have played to a lot of unders. Derek Carr is almost dead last in red zone efficiency. His completion percentage is down. Sia mentioned the injury concerns. I have a feeling that Lawrence will play. The spread is shrinking a little bit. And I kind of want to bet the total. I want to bet the under when Lawrence is announced in, but it is dicey to do so. I like the number 40 here. I don't think it goes over that. And you look at Derek Carr as a favorite. He has a terrible record. 17-33-2 against the spread when playing as a favorite. Lawrence is 9-7 as a dog. I think the Jags are the better team. Give me Jacksonville.
Brandon says Brasco cutting all the promos. Robert says, damn, Danny. I weirdly respect the arrogance today. All right. A lot of great info there, too. So, Sniper, as I come to you, what are you going to add for me?
I'm on the opposite end here. I'm going to follow the Saints. The Trevor Lawrence knee injury is enough for me to go against the Jags here. I mean, even if he plays, I feel like he's probably going to be hampered a little bit. It's a short week there coming off that injury. And I thought last week the Saints showed that Derek Carr with a healthy-ish shoulder can be a prolific passing attack. Remember, they hadn't had a full arsenal of weapons much of the year, with Kamara having that suspension and, trying to reacclimate Thomas after the couple of years off, and Olave being so young, Shaheed being so young. I feel like last week when Carr threw for 353 yards passing, that was just kind of them starting to come into their own all as one unit for the first time.
I don't know anywhere else that you're going to get that kind of information on one game. Do not forget, tonight, prime time early edge, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We break down everything Jacksonville, everything New Orleans Saints, top to bottom, left to right. That is incredible analysis. And I can't wait to see what the boys bring tonight for prime time early edge. Now, it's one of those situations.
Coach,
What are you looking at, Buckets?
Coach, are you kidding me? You, Danny, Sia Sniper, the whole lot of you guys keep using the word disrespectful. And truth be told, I think you're all being disrespectful to me.
Good.
We are 17 minutes. Sniper, I'll get to you in a second. We are 17 minutes into this show, and the show's favorite capper, the best capper here, and arguably the best looking capper, sorry, Sia, has not said a word yet. 17 minutes with no Buckets input is absolutely ridiculous. I tried to hold it in. I tried to sit here and be a good boy today, but it's just not happening. It is my turn to have a segment, and here's how we're going to do it. Boom. I know when people think of Buckets, they think of only one thing, and that is, of course, the no-fly zone. Thank you, AB, for looking out and for taking care of the graphic here. Guys, it's just time for me to do my thing here. I talked to the bosses, Coach. I went above your head. I blocked Danny on Snapchat. I deleted Sniper's number. I'm just doing my thing now. I talked to the bosses. We had a good conversation where we all extrapolated, collaborated, and had incredible, illuminating, and commemorating conversations, Coach. And we all came to the conclusion that the no-fly zone is mine. We've got T. Lawrence versus D. Carr taking it off this afternoon. And we all know one thing about those guys. They're both quarterbacks, which means they're going to throw the ball here. When I'm looking at who I think is going to enter the no-fly zone, I'm going with my boy D. Carr at plus 100. He is due to go the INT, Coach. Thank you. Sorry, you can continue.
Well, first and foremost, anybody that knows me knows that if I didn't live in the United States, I would live in Japan. I love Japan. I love everything about their culture. And clearly you went to an official ceremony when you were over there, correct?
We did. We went to an official kimono tea ceremony, Coach.
I bet that was pretty cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah. Who knew that you were going to somehow tie that back into the no-fly zone on a Thursday Night Football is beyond me. But again, you're next level. But when you're cutting a promo, because I'm one of the greatest promo cutters of all time, look it up. Google me. When you tell the Sniper and you tell Danny Brasco, and God forbid you tell the counselor you're better looking than he is, now we've just gone over the edge. Now, with all that being said, who is going to throw an interception tonight? You threw the graphic up there. You didn't give me a pick.
I gave you a pick. I said Derek Carr to go the INT.
He said Carr.
Oh, see, I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening. Right, Snipes? Wasn't listening. Now, if you want to play D Carr to throw the INT, where are you going to do it at? Well, I tell you, right here. New BetMGM customers can sign up today and get $200 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10, and you will receive $200 instantly in bonus bets, regardless of your wager's outcome with bonus code EDGE200. That's EDGE200. Now, we just discussed in a lot of different ways tonight's game, but it's a busy weekend across the entire NFL on CBS. John says Buckets is awesome. Gordon asked the question we all were thinking. Does Buckets really know what extrapolate means?
Of course.
Sniper says no. He says no. Now, get serious, because this is our board for tonight. And when I look at my notes and I look at the fact that all the big leagues are coming back, we've already got two big plays in the queue for this weekend from the guru, Martin W. Green. But Buckets, I'm coming right back to you. This is your bread and butter. And I know it's been a long 2 weeks. We've had to muddle our way through Welsh games and European qualifiers, but I want to get back to some good old-fashioned league play this weekend. Can you please start us off?
I can start you off, Coach, but we're not going to go back to the weekend yet because we do have one more day of international break today. And listen, I know that everybody and their mother just cares about the return of the Premier League and the Bundesliga and the Eredivisie, But we don't have that yet because we've got one more slate of frankly pretty boring games. And while I'm avoiding the majority of the slate this afternoon, there is one match that caught my eye. We're going to Brazil's Serie B, where we have a match between Atletico Clube Goianiense versus ABCDEFGRNF. Sorry, ABCRNFC is the team name. Now, this is a battle between David and Goliath, or a more modern day version, Sniper versus Buckets, because you have the team that is by far one of the best teams in all of Brazil, taking on the team that is the worst, the dead last, the Sniper of the group here. So how we want to approach this game is keep it nice and simple. Atletico needs to win. They are third on the table. They are fighting to maintain a promotion spot. They have the least losses in the league. They're going to win this match, but I'm not going to give that out to you at a money line at minus 275. So what I'm going to do is take Atletico to win the first half at plus 100 over on MGM. They're taking on ABC RNFC, who is dead last on the table, and they're so far down, they are already guaranteed their relegation. No matter what they do the remaining games, they cannot get out of the relegation zone, which means, frankly, they've given up. Atletico should go up 2-0 in the first half, cash the plus 100, and I'll see you all at the pay window.
And Brasilia Serie B, they play in the evenings here, correct? It's like nighttime?
Correct. 6 p.m.
Eastern?
for this match.
6 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you. That was a very well thought out, mature take for you, Buckets.
Thank you, Coach.
Now, in the chat, Scott, I'm waiting for something else to pop up that you've done behind my back. So in the chat, Scott says golf picks, ? Golf picks, ? Scott, I only need one. I see you. And I also understand that you want a golf pick. So counselor, let me come to you, big boy, because the Zozo Championship, it's at a weird time. It's actually in Japan this week. Hideki's the rock star of all rock stars. So I need a pick from the Zozo. A lot of big-time names playing this week. You're up.
Thank you very much. And a lot of big-time names on this show. Can I just say I'm really impressed with Bucket's use of 4 to 6 syllable words, illuminating. He almost pronounced extrapolated right, which honestly, like, it's close enough, kind of a horseshoes type thing there. I'm really impressed there. And Danny's arrogance, Danny Brasco, if you will, just coined that. I think that's going to stick. Wow. Speaking of sticking, I'm going to stick the landing on this golf bet. I'm going Sung J M tonight. It starts around 8 o'clock tonight, by the way. Sung J M minus 120 over Ricky Fowler. This is a pretty easy analysis. Now, I don't have shot link data from yesterday because this thing is over in Japan, but the long and short of it is I like Sung J M going into this tournament over Ricky Fowler anyway. Ricky Fowler's been okay lately. He's made a little bit of a comeback, but Sung J M's been really consistently good, I should say. So Sung J M was 4 shots better than Ricky Fowler yesterday. I anticipate him being 2 to 3 shots better today. So Sung J M minus 120. The cool thing about this is it'll be starting right when football starts, and it'll probably conclude before everybody goes to bed. So we might have this one in the bag before we go to sleep tonight. My next play is Thursday Night Football. The thing that Sung J M will be competing against will be Thursday Night Football, of course, and it's Christian Kirk. I'm going to take his over in receiving yards because of a couple different things. One is the Saints are much better against boundary receivers than they are slot receivers. And Christian Kirk lines up in the slot over 50% of the time, actually technically over 60% of the time. He's been eating up receptions, eating up yards. And if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, I still think CJ Beathard is going to feed Christian Kirk more than the Calvin Ridley types and even the Evan Ingram types. And that's really because I think he's going to be the easier target. He's been the more dynamic and consistent receiver. And for the record, if CJ Beathard is out there, they're going to stack the box and try to stop Etienne. It's a good rush defense for the Saints anyway. So they're going to challenge CJ Beathard. He's going to have to throw. He's going to be forced to throw. So whether he's in there or not, I think we got a Christian Kirk over here. And I'll say this. I put this on the app yesterday at 51.5. It's already up to 52.5, 53, 54 in some places where it was last night in certain spots. So really like this one. I think Christian Kirk is the one who eats in the receiver group.
Bradley says, I'd follow the counselor off a cliff. Ooh. Well, we don't need to go that far, but we get what you're saying. But all you need to do is follow him right to SportsLine. Just like he said, there's so many people trying out our brand every single day. So if you're not a SportsLine member, guess what? I'm going to do you a solid right here and right now. Use the promo code COACH. That's my name. QR code's right there. Sportsline.com/join if you want to do it that way as well. 60% off the quarterly plan. Don't hit the monthly. Don't hit the yearly and then say, Coach, it didn't work. Hit the 3-month plan. And then after that, you stop at Starbucks and don't do it tomorrow. You paid for your month. That's how we operate. That's how we do. Now, I didn't want to be left out of the party today. And, by the way, the chat's loving the blows going back and forth that Danny Brasco started. So I'll get to him in a second. But I've got one big play tonight, college football. We can't forget about college football. And there's a very good team that for a lot of different reasons, their regular season is their postseason. They're undefeated. They're playing great football right now. They beat Georgia Southern a week ago, 41-13. Flip side, Marshall. They've given up over 40 points 3 weeks in a row. This is a mismatch. The number is only 3.5. Come on, James Madison. I would even buy it down to 3 just to protect yourself. Maybe minus 130, minus 140, depending on the book. But James Madison is absolutely the play tonight. All right. Now,
hey Coach, I got to interrupt you. I don't know if you recall, but my undergrad was actually James Madison University, so I fully support this play.
Really?
Right.
I guess I had forgotten that you went to James Madison.
Well, thanks for remembering.
Yeah, thanks
but
for ruining my
this
flow.
Sorry, Coach, but this is a really good squad. I love this pick.
Okay. I guess we're just going into business for ourselves today. Every single person. What's a smile for, Buckets?
It sounds like a made-up university. James Madison University. You just pick a guy's name and slap a U at the end of it. It's just funny to me.
Guy.
As the president of the
guy.
United States.
President.
Oh,
Fourth president, actually.
Never mind, Coach. I rescind that.
But George Washington University. I mean, come on, that's a made-up name.
Who's that guy using?
This is George
The
Washington.
worst part, I don't even have a degree. I didn't go to school, so I'm just shooting shots for no
Wait a
reason.
second. So when you sent me your resume and it said graduated from Fort Wayne University, that was a lie?
Well, who's next for their pick, Coach? We got to keep this show rolling. We got a time crunch here, guys.
I'm surprised he didn't have Fort Minor University.
Buckets majored in Adobe Photoshop.
All right. Now, we like to pride ourselves on being a worldwide show, and we will go to the ends of the earth to find information. Hell, I flew to England last week and back in 3 days. That's why I'm sick right now. But I do it, and I do it for you. But this week, Danny Brasco, the entire UFC card almost fell apart until it didn't. This is a very interesting and fascinating situation. Could you educate the people? And also, what are your fire picks on the card?
Well, number one, before I jump into UFC 294, first I have to give Coach his props. I thought you called a fantastic fight in Paul versus Danis. For the mockery and insanity that Danis put on, you called it right down the middle. So props to you, Coach. Nice job on that.
Thank you.
This fight card is more pandemonium. Alexander Volkanovski takes the chance to become double champion, lightweight and featherweight champion, on 11 days' notice in the rematch against Islam Makhachev. And Kamaru Usman jumps in to fight Khamzat Chimaev, the boogeyman of the middleweight division, also on 11 days' notice after Paulo Costa's out of that fight. So crazy mix-up. And let's start it with the main event here, guys. I'm jacked up. Maybe that's why I'm bringing all this arrogant energy to the show today. But holy smokes, I'm placing a fairly sizable bet on the dog, Alexander Volkanovski, at plus 230 odds here. I firmly believe that he won the first fight. It was scored split decision 48-47 for Islam Makhachev, but they scored control over damage. And you look at the way the fight played out, even in dangerous positions where Islam had Volk's back, right? His back was taken. He was at a disadvantageous grappling scenario. He's there without a concern in the world, without any submission threats, punching him in the face in bad positions. Volk dominated that fight, in my opinion, mentally. And I think in this one, he can come forward with even more confidence. What is there left to fear? Barely any submission attempts even were at play in that one. I think Volk can walk forward more confident, more dangerous than ever. Watch for the low kicks to be implemented there. I think he lets more strikes go, knowing that he can deal with the takedowns and grappling just fine. And I think he ends up knocking him out. I'm going to say third round, plus 550 on the knockout if you want to be bold. Give me Volk all day. Let's go to the co-main event. Kamaru versus Khamzat Chimaev. And there's no way that I can't back Khamzat in this situation. I know the makeup of Kamaru Usman. I know that he's one of the greatest welterweight champions ever. But guys, I also firmly believe that his knees are gone. And in an open workout just yesterday with Justin Gaethje, he was rolling around on the mats and you hear him say, something popped, something popped. Gaethje is now trying to cover it up, saying, oh, his head hit the mat. I tried to ask him if he was okay. But I feel that Kamaru Usman's knees are compromised. They have long been compromised. He told Joe Rogan in an interview long ago that it hurts to walk on concrete, and he often goes to the little grass patch on the side of sidewalks. If this guy's not able to match the explosivity of Khamzat, I think he just gets overwhelmed. Khamzat doesn't care what your fight style is. He'll just bring absolute hell to you. And I think eventually he's going to get Kamaru out of there, maybe second or third round. And finally, a fun fight of the night. Look out for the absolute ballroom brawler, Trevor Peek by knockout. We've cashed this exact prop on the show before, so let's do it again. The guy doesn't care. I don't think he feels pain. He throws insane right hook, left hook, right hand, left hook combinations. He's going to walk forward through the fire, and the other guy's just not going to be able to deal with it. He's going to put him to sleep. Trevor Peek, last man standing. Those are 3 UFC picks. Card starts at 10 a.m., guys. Abu Dhabi is the location. 10 a.m. early prelims. Lock in and enjoy this card, y'all.
Let me be very serious for a second. All kidding aside, this is why you don't just come for the recap screen. He just said about 4 or 5 things you can't get from just a pick. The knee stuff, the popping, all of the quotes from previous years. So I'll ask all of you one very simple question. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. Danny Brasco, yes,
Coach,
Buckets.
I'm so sorry to interrupt your flow. That's why I raised my hand. I wanted to be polite here. But I also do the work for UFC. So I have a quick question for Danny here, if you don't mind. Danny, you said you wanted all the smoke today. So I want to put that to the test. So first of all, Danny, how many showdown wins do you have on the show?
First of all, Buckets, the only man brave enough to ever have challenged me to a showdown before Coach just did again was Coach previous, okay? And that was the first one actually on air. It was just on Twitter. I'm 1-0 in challenges, and no one has dared to ever step in the octagon with me. Are you about to close the gate on this?
So that's a long way to say you have a single showdown win. I have 4 times your wins, Danny, in showdowns. You don't want to mess with me, but I'll entertain you right now. I get your argument here. Volkanovski is probably the best pound-for-pound striker on the planet right now, but he did lose to Islam back in UFC 284. Whether you think it was the right call or not, I don't really care. I understand that UFC might want a trilogy, so maybe they're going to lean toward Volk, but frankly, I just think you're wrong here. You are out of your mind if you think Islam Makhachev is losing here. He has a single loss dating back to 2015. Since then, he has wiped the floor with the likes of Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, Charles Oliveira, and oh yeah, Volkanovski. If you really believe in your boy and you're willing to put out this plus 200 whatever dog, then back it up. Back it up against me, Danny, because I'm saying that Volkanovski loses, and I think that Islam wins this by submission, giving him his first ever submission loss in history. So if you're up for the challenge, if you really want all the smoke, then let me ask you this. Are you in or are you in?
Wow. You have 4 times the wins and 50 times the appearances. Snake, play the music.
It's gonna be a showdown.
As the 2 hosts of the show, me and Counselor are just sitting there saying, let's just get out of the way. That was magic right there. Danny was amazing. You just blew us away, Buckets.
Buckets, by the way, I'm giving you even money on a minus 275 favorite. That's how I feel.
Oh, he doesn't even want the juice.
I got to text my bank. Let them know I'm going to have a little deposit here later Saturday morning.
Wow. That is a savage response. But damn it, I'm here for it. By the way, Danny, this is the same guy who took a showdown, even money on the Diamondbacks Phillies game 1, and he had the Diamondbacks. So take
God
that
bless.
with a grain of salt.
God bless.
That may be one of the greatest showdowns we've ever had.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we followed that, but when you have a legendary capper who's on one of the all-time heaters that every single time you watch and you look at your phone about, 3-4 innings into the game, you don't even have to worry about it. That's how elite my man, the sniper, has been. So, ladies and gentlemen, throw the showdowns to the side, all the jokes to the side. It is now time for my man to tell us what we're going to cash tonight. Sniper, floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm actually going to start with football. I mentioned earlier the stuff about the Saints. I'm finally kind of showing a little bit of cohesion with all their weapons there. It's the first year with Derek Carr. Michael Thomas hadn't really played much for years, like I said. And the Kamara suspension at the start of the year. Carr threw for 353 yards last week. The Jags are 30th in passing yards against in the NFL. They gave up 329 passing yards to Gardner Minshew and the Colts last week. So I think that this is a good spot to hit that over 236.5. Not saying Carr's going to throw for, 400 or anything, throw for 4 or 5 touchdown passes. We just need to get over 236.5. So I really like that number here. And that's my play for today. Oh, wait.
Wait is right. There's
Who
one.
are we riding here? Everybody knows. Everybody knows by now who we're going to ride in the Major League Baseball playoffs right now. We're 8-0 so far with him. We're going to ride him until he bucks us. It's Trey Turner. On the hits, runs, RBIs prop, which I love. He is 8-0 in 8 games so far this postseason. One time it went up to 2.5, and he got over that. It's back up to 2.5. I think it's probably because of me that it's up to 2.5 at this point, because so many people are following me and hitting me. I'm not serious, by the way, but hey, maybe. Here's the thing. He is averaging in this playoff run, hits plus runs plus RBIs, 3.38 per game. So we're still comfortable over that 2.5. And if you want a little more here, 29 career games in Chase Field in Arizona. He has hit 361 with a 680 slugging percentage. And on the hits plus runs plus RBIs in there, average 3.17 per game. So again, we're over that. He loves to hit at Chase Field. He's been the hottest hitter in baseball since August 5th. In the playoffs, he's been the best player by far, even with all the attention on all the home runs from Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos. Trey Turner is your guy. I'm over on Trey again.
Let me just put a little bit of this into perspective. If you would have followed the Sniper on the last 8 Phillies games, and you bet, let's say $50 on all of those, you would have paid for a SportsLine membership for 3 years. 3 years. Think about that for a second. Amazing. Sniper, you are all over it. By the way, our girl Rebecca says, enjoy your bonus money, Danny. Don't forget to tip your waitress. At one point, Rebecca's going to be on the show. I don't know when, but she's going to be on the show. I don't even know how this train got off the track so much, but damn it, I'm here for it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here's a recap courtesy of my man, the Snake, who's probably pulling his hair out right now. Snipers all over Trey Turner, 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs, plus 120. We'll take the plus money. He's been going 4, 5, 6 on this bet. Derek Carr, let's go over 236.5. Passing yards, minus 115. Then buckets. This is Brazil Serie B. Atletico, first half money line plus 100. If you're going to cash with the coach, you're going to do it with James Madison, minus 3.5. They are undefeated. They are motivated. They are basically kind of new to big-time D1 football, and they have been blowing people out. Scored 41 last week. They will do it again tonight. Then the counselor. He's on Christian Kirk over 51.5 receiving yards, minus 118. But you can catch him on primetime early edge. And then from the Zozo. And remember, this is a limited field. A lot of the tee times stack on top of each other. You don't have all day. It's like 2 or 3 hour window to get your bets in because of the limited field. Then Danny Brasco, 3 big plays. Alexander Volkanovsky, money line plus 230, a big-time showdown with buckets. Then Kazmat Chimaev, KO, TKO sub. If you guys don't know who this guy is, he is an absolute beast. People are scared to fight him. They have a hard time finding guys to fight this man. That's how dangerous and scary he truly is. Trevor Peak, you just want a fun fight? This is the one right here. By knockout, minus 110. Do not forget, later today, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, it is prime time early edge with me and the crew as we break down everything Thursday night football and all of the odds, as you know, powered by BetMGM. Hope you had a good time today. Hope you laughed a little bit. Hope you learned a lot. And I want you to go out, pay it forward, be kind to one another, and bring all your friends tonight, because that's what we do, and we do it together. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Thursday tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, Counselor, Sniper, Buckets, Brasco, my man the Snake, always on the ones and the twos. I'm simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. Have a great day. Enjoy it. Smile. It's what we should do from the early edge. Good luck.